Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of AER Memories of Old. Now, I think if we can look at the map, we need to fly in this general direction. We're in this weird position where we shouldn't have had this much trouble so far to find the shrines and find some other ability to do things, because right now we're kind of left in this lurch where we're listening to decent music and seeing decent imagery, but all we're really doing is playing something that feels a lot like a walking simulator. And if you're going to compare this to a walking simulator, this game is going to fail miserably because let's face it, this is not anywhere as pretty as a walking simulator. So they said there were temples, and all we found is shrines like this, and these don't even have text on them this time. There are some ghosts here. Where are we on the map? Let's see. It's time to face facts. The God King is here to stay. It's better to bend the knee than lose the head. And this other one is just turning away and not listening. Interesting. Is there anything here to read? I am Yohal of the Southern Isles. This is the second letter I leave behind. This message is a warning of bad tidings, the worst ever since the Great Divide. I came to the land of gods to seek counsel from my spirit animal. The lands continue to grow apart as if an invisible tide gnaws at them. Since last spring, things have gotten worse. The snow creeps south and animals are found dead, corrupted by dark rocks I first saw so long ago. I went to the spirit fox's den, but it was empty. I waited there for 3 days, but he was nowhere to be seen. All the spirits dying as we are. If so, then all is lost. If he doesn't show up tomorrow, I will return to my people, and I, for one, will not abandon them in their last days. Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's all this is, those bits of text. Wow, that's okay. That answers the question about fall damage, and so here let's take a long leap. Like you can't just leap and go wherever you want. I thought that might be a thing, but clearly it isn't. We've got these checkpoints that seem to only really need to exist in case you jump down off the edge, or I guess maybe it's in case you get stuck or lost somewhere. I'm thinking there might be something over here. Yeah, I see something over here. Let's try and speed up. This is, if this is all the game is really, I can see why not too many people even bothered to review it. It's really hard for any kind of critic to say anything when the game is not really much of anything, and that's kind of all this is. It's like there's better games that have since been created that are where you can fly around as a bird. There's better games out there where you explore and do other activities. At least feels like that's the case. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Seems like it's too easy to transform. Let's read this. Not all spirit persists forever. Praise to the cinnamon-fingered, the dancer of the southern trees. Nevermore will she play beneath the shade. She fell into darkness, never to laugh again with us. From star to star she skips, following the gods in eternity. Praise to the dance, ended and begun. Also sing of the voice of the grasslands, the sun roarer, the wind caller. Never again will he race through the reeds of the lakes, stirring up swans, or hunt the horses of the wild. He now prowls the dark between dream and wake. Sing of his voice unforgotten till the stars fade into morning light. Now, I don't think I would call this text that we're seeing right now temporary text or anything like that. Like, it would be really odd for somebody to have written that kind of dialogue and not intended for that dialogue to have been used. But boy, does it feel just not really connected to anything right now. Yeah. I'm trying to find some kind of lateral through line here, and this feels very much like you're just getting told a bunch of maybe this is finally the first shrine. Yeah, it kind of feels like you're getting told a bunch of gibberish, and you're supposed to take it as being important dialogue. And I would not at this time call this just a game for stoners where that might make sense. And even then, I still don't think the dialogue would make enough sense. Right, so I'm gonna try and fly up to the top of this and see if there's something to be seen. I see some bright lights, which might be an indicator of something. I am Raya Yohal's daughter. I sought out his words to make sense of what happened to him during his journeys. My father's burden lay heavy on his shoulders. Even though we found a new home, he was never the same again. There is hope, and more children have been born this spring than last. We will recover, but I think he's worried about things yet to come. I think the sickness of the block rocks my father found scared him more than anything else. It's only been seen once or twice again, however. The islands we now wander is safe. Kara is soon having a child of her own, and laughter has returned to our hearts. So it seems like Kara was gonna have a child, but it doesn't seem like she made it that far. So we've got a light here, and we're kind of just flying back to places we may have already been. Alright, finally this seems different. So we've got a statue of a porpoise, it seems like. Porpoise, sea cow, something. Well, those sea animals. Right. So we have people worshipping that I didn't see that before. and we can use this. Okay. So we did something. What did we do? Seems like you just fly through that. And that seems like this now is sending some particles this way. If I can hit the right button and face the right direction. Yeah, the game is definitely not holding your hand at all here. Okay, so there's a sun and a moon symbol, which then tells me I probably need to go over here and use the lantern to do this. Yes, alright. This is going to make a moon symbol, which is then going to open that. And that's how we're going to get in the temple. Alright. Nice. We really needed that to happen. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes since we started this game, and if this really is supposed to be a 3-hour game, I guess it's not odd for me to take a little bit longer to beat games, so because I like to play thoroughly. But yeah, that was a lot more difficult than it should have been to figure out where to go and what to do. And again, we're having a load sequence here where it's not showing that load animation. Again, also this game is only 1.2 gigs, so there's not a great example or reason why it should be loading at all, in my opinion. Although that may be a false accusation to really levy at somebody, that the game is a small download, therefore it really shouldn't be loading anything. But honestly, I have 16 gigs of RAM, so if this entire game wanted to load its entirety of its executable files into RAM, it would have worked fine. Although maybe video RAM plays a role there. So we're in the vault, and we have no map. And I might as well, I guess, just have the lantern out at all times. And we have now an opportunity to potentially play the game and solve it and do something. Right, it looks like we have a circular sun piece and a moon piece again, so repetitions on the exact same theme. So unless this becomes a mechanic where both of these spin, I don't know what's gonna happen. Alright, so left stick. I guess it is the arrow in the middle pointing that direction. So if we do this and do that, it was kind of easy. You would have to be pretty bad at matching patterns to not be able to know the pattern you just did and or see the pattern here and copy it. It definitely feels like that needed more of a challenge. Like, if this is a short game, why not throw some kind of difficult puzzles into it? That's where a game like Myst, or more recently from the creators of Myst, Abduction, would have thrown in slightly more difficult puzzles so you can have a better justification of the use of your time. Wow. So this is just a solid note that's playing, and then I don't see a reason why we couldn't just fly out of this area now that we can transform. Honestly, I guess we could have flown out of any of these areas, but I bet it doesn't actually let you do that. So now we're going to take a key. I imagine this animation will get reused several times. Alright. Ah. It's not letting me transform. Interesting. No real explanation for that. And all the music disappears in the world. And now we're just left with silence. Which is cool. Like, I feel like that should happen more often. Let's see. My B button still is not really doing anything. And here we have a fox spirit, twin-tail fox. Hello, little wanderer, you took your time. Were you perhaps led astray, or just followed by the slow one? I think his name is Midvin. Slow as few shifters I have met, but sharp, intelligent. Do you know what it is you found? You hold both light and key to lead you into twilight, both dusk and dawn, I believe. Southwest of here is a temple, the silhouette of the setting sun. You'll find more answers there. Go now, bird faster than Midvin. Secrets await you in the deep. Seek counsel from the one who slumbers, the ones who slumber. Okay. I can't talk to this character. I guess it's not a spirit animal. It's a straight up alive animal. That's such a small area too. Why did that even need to be its own loaded section? Be more ambitious. Have a giant cave and just have that inside the cave. That's one of the things that like Fallout has always had a problem with is so it said southwest of here, so I'm hoping that means we're supposed to go back to the lighthouse. And see, I don't know if Midvin maybe is the guy who took us to the temple, or if Midvin is possibly the bad guy of the game. Maybe he said shifter, but maybe there are different kinds of shifters, and so maybe the bad guy shifts himself into these poisonous deadly rocks or some other kind of creature. That over there on the left was a place we've been before. The irony of all irony is if I flew through some of this and it turned into a rock and there was like a rock inside of the clouds. So let's flap and speed up. I think I'm supposed to go back here. That's my guess, is that after each key you go back to this area. Which, that sounds very video gamey. Right. So the lighthouse doesn't feel like there's a key or anything. So let's... The problem here is that I can't find the people. Here they are. Let's see if we've got anything new they can tell us. You see sometimes, yep, this is the same text before.
Hey.
Hi again, Ak. I went to see Midvin by Kara's shrine to see the cave-in shrine myself. So Midvin is my leader, father, guru. I don't know what he's supposed to be, elder. I am as worried as he is, but I must ask you something else. Have you seen ghosts? I noticed glowing signs and a weird distortion in the air, almost like small fireflies, but not actual bugs. I think they are what is called memories of the past. It is said that the lantern can discover secrets by shining upon the signs. They were mentioned in passing in an old children's story I once read to Aaron. Maybe they can reveal something important. Oh, do you need a reminder of the next location for your pilgrimage? The Eventide Sanctuary is the closest. It is northwest of here. As for ghosts, yeah, we've been looking at them, but they haven't been really helpful.
Hey.
Oh, did you see the fish statues of Windsong Falls? The statues of the spirit fish who once lived there. There used to be plenty of fish in the waters. There are good golden ones in the sun pool, silvery ones in the moon basin, tasty ones in the mall. I've been trying to reintroduce some fish there, but they seem to vanish overnight. Maybe some other animal is eating them. Oh, you mentioned the spirit fox? Usually stays close to home in the Split Mountain, but I have seen him lurking around lately. You think the spirit fox has been eating all the fish? Actually, that would make so much sense. Just jump in the well. So, what is this supposed to be? A pin for some kind of animal? Let's go back in this cave, I guess, and see if anything has changed. Again, really no reason this should load. The cave should have just been part of the overworld, for as small as all this is. Now that is the weird thing about video games even now, is that there still is a lot of RAM needed to do even the most basic of level areas, although this is really pushing it. I still cannot read any of these, and I don't see anything here. And it kind of feels like I need to be able to pause and see my goal again. So am I missing something? That's them. Yeah, it seems like they have the island all to themselves. And they're saying northwest. So I don't know. Did I just get a key that possibly opens a temple, but I didn't actually reach a temple? Yeah, it really feels like you should be able to pause or look at the map and have a better idea. Seems like there's something here. The self-become God reaches top far. I hope he stretches himself too thin. So I wonder if these kind of buildings are the Black Rock character. There's a ram. It's not very aggressive. Hey, here's a baby. A little baby in love with me. So the baby will follow me. We can get some more babies to follow me. It looks like there's a checkpoint there and a symbol over there, so maybe that's the next spot to check out. Yeah, that's rather a disappointment, honestly, that I got into an area, opened the door, got a key to something, and then that key to something didn't really turn out to be anything. Yeah, I see a key symbol. I was thinking maybe the key symbol was something that would play and make more sense as far as changing time. Like, it seems like it's always daytime where we are, so I wouldn't be super surprised if that was a way you could try and expand on this. It would make the lantern make a little bit more sense. The river, it has fallen. What of the spirit fish? Is she safe? So here we have a dried up river. It seems like what they're implying is that these rivers manage to maintain themselves magically via rain and condensation from the clouds. I guess that's possible. Like, up high, it could rain all the time and refill the rivers. Although then that would require this game to rain, and last thing you want is in a video game is more rain. So is this the temple finally? I think this might be it. Wow. This game really does not breadcrumb you at all. Open temple. Well, at least it's telling it to you straight. And so I took what can only be described as the long way around. I went to the east and the north and then northwest, and really I just needed to go west and then slightly northeast of the most western point that I'm at right now to get the key. So I've played a little bit out of order, and my only hope is that the temple is much bigger, because if this just opens and it's nothing, or if it's just this open air temple, that's gonna be weird. So is this gonna load? See, this would be the weirdest part, is if I go down this direction and it doesn't start loading. Because then why would all the little small areas require loads? Let's just get a peek of it, and then we're gonna have to wrap up this episode. Okay. So it seems like this is gonna be bigger. Honestly, it needs to be about twice as big as the first area we were in. But Zelda-wise, I don't think we're going to get a compass. I don't think we're going to get a map. I don't think we're going to get probably anything more than one item that probably will just somehow interact with the lamp. Wouldn't be surprised if the lantern just can like make a burst of light or grow into like a beam of light at some point. But outside of the surfacey feeling of this being kind of like a Zelda adventure game, Skyward Sword adventure game, it's totally missing all of the other things that would make it an adventure game. And here the description of it being an exploration game is kind of just the default description to say it's lacking in a gameplay mechanic and lacking in being what I would guess is a finished product. I seriously doubt that this was the intended final game. You will never know, but it is also very possible that this was something that was being worked on by Forgotten Key in collaboration with some other company, and then the deal fell through, and thus they had this beginning section that they could only polish so much and try and sell and recoup their losses. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.